Once upon a time, in a land of castles and clouds, there lived a princess named Muddle. She was kind, she was clever, and she was messy. Her hair was always a little untidy. Her dresses had crumbs in the pockets. And her room, oh dear, you couldn't even see the floor. One sunny morning, a royal messenger arrived in Muddle's kingdom. He blew his trumpet and announced,
"A prince from the neighbouring kingdom is searching for a bride. Princesses from every land are invited to his castle for the royal contest."
Princess Muddle thought,
Well, I'm not perfect, but I am me. Maybe I'll give it a try.
so she packed her crown, brushed her hair as best she could, tucked a sandwich into her pocket for later, and set off in a carriage to represent her kingdom. When she arrived, the prince welcomed all the princesses warmly. There were 3 other princesses in the contest. Princess Perfecta, who never had a hair out of place. Princess Glimmer, who sparkled from head to toe. And Princess Grace, who glided like a swan when she walked. The first challenge was to serve tea without spilling a drop. Princess Perfecta floated toward the prince with her tray. Not a single drop moved, but she wore a serious, careful frown. Princess Glimmer twirled as she served, and though her jewels glittered, a tiny drip splashed onto the tablecloth. Princess Grace moved like the wind on a calm day, smooth, slow, elegant, and the teacups made no sound at all. Then came Princess Muddle. She tied the teapot to her arm with a ribbon so she wouldn't drop it. She wobbled and giggled the whole way, but not a single drop spilled. The prince chuckled at her unusual style. The second challenge was to solve a riddle. The royal jester read it aloud.
What has keys but can't open doors?
Princess Perfecta thought hard, but she was so focused on looking calm that she stayed silent. Princess Glimmer tapped her chin and guessed,
A golden treasure chest.
but that wasn't right. Princess Grace tilted her head and whispered,
A royal keychain.
also not right. Princess Muddle's hand shot up.
A piano.
She'd read the answer in one of her puzzle books, the ones piled in a messy heap under her bed. The prince's eyes sparkled. He said,
Yes, Princess Muddle, your answer is correct.
the third challenge was to dance for the prince. Princess Perfecta twirled in perfect circles, every step measured and neat, though her smile looked a little stiff. Princess Glimmer spun quickly, her dress glittering under the lights, but she became dizzy and had to stop. Princess Grace floated across the floor like a leaf on water, beautiful and calm. Then came Princess Muddle. She took one step, tripped on her shoe, and burst out laughing. Without missing a beat, she turned her tumble into a silly, happy dance. She clapped her hands, spun around, and even did a little wiggle. The prince laughed so hard, he almost joined her on the dance floor. When all the challenges were done, the prince stood before them.
I choose Princess Muddle. She's clever, kind, and she makes me smile.
That night, Princess Muddle sat alone in her tower room, gazing out at the moon. The castle was quiet, but her mind was noisy. She thought about the contests, the laughter, and how happy the prince had looked. But then she remembered the crumbs in her pocket, her tangled hair, and her room back home where you couldn't even see the floor.
The prince thinks I'm amazing, but what if he finds out I'm not perfect? What if he changes his mind?
She paced around the room, tidied her veil, then untidied it again. Finally, she stood, smoothed her dress, and took a deep breath.
I'm going to tell him. If he truly likes me, he'll like the real me. Mess and all.
On their wedding morning, Princess Muddle took a deep breath.
Prince, before we marry, you should know I'm not perfect. I'm very, very messy.
The prince chuckled.
That's exactly why I love you. You're real, and you're you. And that's perfect to me.
After their wedding, the prince didn't try to change her, but he helped her find fun ways to be just a little tidier. They made a game of putting books back on the shelves, and they set aside messy days when it was fine to paint, bake, and make a joyful mess together. Over time, Princess Muddle's room was still lively, but you could see the flaw again. She was still herself, clever, kind, and a little bit silly. But now she knew that a bit of tidying made life even brighter. And so they lived happily ever after, in a castle filled with books, laughter, and just the right amount of mess. Moral of the story: it's better to be your true self than to pretend to be perfect. And you can still grow and improve without losing who you are. The end.